Hey, what's up? I'm back home. Workout done, cleaning done, everything important done. Same t-shirt. Of course, it's very important. Today's topic is going to be about is your life over past 30 years old? And I'm gonna elaborate on this. So this is not scripted. This is just me like talking about random thoughts I had today. One thing I want to address though, like I've been watching, like the recording. Of course, if I record, I still watch what I record, right? And I always look tired. Like my eyes. I'm sure you guys noticed, right? Like the first thing is like, "Yo, so man, you look tired. Alex, you look tired." The thing is, like, I've always been like this. I've always looked tired like this. I've got pictures to prove it. I guess maybe I'll put it in the edit. I don't know. But I actually have a story about this. This, I guess, like trigger warning. When I was a kid, I was like 6 years old. I was at my dad's. It was just right before, or maybe eight. That was after the divorce, I think. And I was staying at my dad and other kids my age. I grew up in the hood in Paris, right, in the suburbs, but it's not like the American suburbs in French. It's like it's the hood. So I grew up in the hood, and other kids would make fun of me because I had bags, right? And so I did not take it too kindly. I went back home, and my mom, when she divorced, left like a makeup palette, right? So I was like, dude, you know what? I'm gonna conceal my bags because it's fucking god awful. So I get there and I started playing makeup like a dumbass. I was like 7 or 8, and my dad's like enters the bathroom and like the bathroom and just sees me doing this, and he fucking beat my ass, called me all the names like F slurs and all this, and then yeah, that's kind of like backstory. It's not like trying to farm some sub points. Anyways, so is your life over at 30 years old? So that's a big question. I think a lot of us, especially if you're watching this video, chances are you're anywhere from like 23 to 35, and there's a lot of things just like me that you haven't quite figured out yet. In my case here, I kind of put my head under the sand for a long time, just streaming on Twitch and thinking that there was the way out for me. I mean, the way up. And I did this for like maybe 4 years of my life, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. Admittedly, I did not go as hard as I could have, but I've always had this feeling that this was the only thing I could do, right? That was my last resort. If I did not succeed at this, then I was fucked. And getting out of streaming, actively getting out and quitting streaming and gaming, Path of Exile in particular, I started like my mindset started shifting a little bit and be like, okay, so what do I do now, right? I have all this time. I don't have much money. I have education. What do I do, right? Like, what's left for me to do? At the time, I had a girlfriend, not anymore, but at the time I did. And so this is when I started doing things progressively, right? Like small habits. So, for example, like my house was an absolute mess. Like always, it was always dirty, always fucking dishes on the tabletop in the kitchen, like dust everywhere. And so first, it was just about just like clean. I felt like I had a veil. It's kind of weird how to explain like anxiety. The way I felt anxiety regarding all this was I felt like I had a veil over my brain, like just sort of like wrapping my brain. And this veil was just applying pressure, and it's like anxiety, like kind of a sense of impending doom. I always felt like I don't know, like someone was gonna knock on my door. It's kind of fucked up when you think about it. And so when I started, just okay, so my house is really dirty. I'm gonna do like one big cleanup for now, and then just maintain it over time, right? So I did, and the more I was getting into like the things and cleaning places I hadn't cleaned in months, if not years, I was like, okay, well, I don't feel this veil anymore. So I kept going. It took me 2 days for the initial cleanup, and then I just felt good, man, and I felt kind of tired in a good way. And that night I slept really well, really really well. So I woke up like early because at this point I was waking up at like 1 or 2 p.m., going to bed at 4 to 5 a.m., and it was bad. I knew sleep was something I had to address as well, right? And so I woke up and I was like, okay, so there's still things left to do, and I kind of made a mental list of like tiny things I had to do before even starting my computer, and it was just really dumb. It was just starting coffee, uh, what was it? Starting coffee, starting a laundry machine, and then I could turn on my computer and then like do whatever I would do in normal day, right? But just doing those two things here, which is nothing, right? Just tiny, tiny things. This kind of set me up for like a good day. So I went ahead and started kind of reading about just nutrition, working out, whatever. And then I had no game to play. So I was like, I'm going to get up and I'm going to do my cleaning now. And again, it would just lift this veil of anxiety. And while I was busy, I didn't have it. So I started working out at this point as well, like daily. And this is, I know it's kind of like a tangent what I'm going on right now, but this is to explain that how low I was starting all this and like kind of this journey to give value to my life past 30 years old. Because if we think about it, like we all grow up thinking that's normal, right? Normal life, which is going to school, meet people, maybe going to university or not, start working straight away, and then like meet somebody. That's kind of like the classic journey that most people experience in the Western world, at least. And in my case, I'm 33 now, and I was like, what do I have? Like, I don't have any material possession, or very, very little. I don't have capital. I don't have a family. I don't have a wife. I don't have debt as a result. I'm just clean slate. I have nothing. Tabula rasa, like people would say. And it just made me think, okay, what do I do now? Because finding a menial job and just earn money to pay my bills. I live very frugally, so that's pretty easy. But then, like, my life is not over yet. Just, I probably have like 40 to 50 years left on this earth, and I can do a lot. And this is when like something happened. It's like I started checking like online, maybe like to go back to university and learn something else, learn something new that would pay results and pay dividends way later down the line. And in my case here, this is looking at a psychology master's degree. So that would be 5 years of pretty hard work because you have to support yourself during this time. So either a part-time job or a full-time job while like attending 20 hours of university a week, sorry. And so this is when I realized like how many things are possible for me. I'm a guy who has no family backing. I have no contact with my family, right? Nothing. Very, very, very little money saved, to say like none. I have no money saved whatsoever. I do have a background education, but I'm not even using my degree to work right now at all. It's not even close. But I still don't feel like I'm just trapped in this life of just mediocrity. I feel like if I spend 4 or 5 years on Twitch doing this, I can spend 4 or 5 years just learning some new skill that will later down the line give me, like a comfortable life. And that's a privilege, I guess, being in France where education is free, which is not really free, but it's free. I can go back to it. It's a difficult thing, especially at my age, because our brain just slows down. When you're past 27, 28, your brain just starts slowing down and just rot. And that's the truth. That's the unfortunate truth. But we get the focus, man. And that's what adulthood brings. So if you're like me and you've lived for years thinking that because you missed, the train when you were a young man, if you missed the train when you were a young man, that now it's over and you're bound to a life of just being shit and mediocre, it's just simply not true, man. Like, think about it this way. Let's say you're 25. If I had somebody tell me this when I was 25, I would have started something new instead of just like, okay, I'm just going to accept my degree that I don't like and work and accept jobs that I don't like. And that's it. That's just life, right? And see where it led me. It led me to like depression, anxiety, like all this stuff. So you're not done, dude. You got a lot of life in you left, like a lot. And think about it this way. The years you've spent playing games and committed to one game, you can do the same and just accept you'll be going to school, learning a new skill, like trade skills. Trades are really great, man. Like electrician, plumber, painter. Painter is kind of like overdone, but electrician, plumber is really, really good. Woodworker as well. There's a high demand for wood. So just take your time. Just don't rush it, right? Just don't rush into like, oh, I need to find something. That's the process I'm doing right now. I'm still at the very, very early steps where it's just, I'm just organizing my life in a very simple way and like relearning how to live like a normal life and do my chores when it's due and do everything when I have to do it. And just be honest, just live an honest life, like not delay things over and over and over until it's too late. Because when this is done, when your sink is not filled with trash, when everything is clean and all this, when you take care of yourself, like, the bare minimum, then this is when you have time to think and actually do other stuff that will bring value to your life. And yeah, that's like the stage I'm at right now. In terms of goals, I need to kind of like rebuild, I guess, my financial situation where it's pretty fucking bad right now. So I gotta work, I would say like 6-7 months in what I'm doing. And for 2022, um, I will most likely enroll into just university, go back to university, and all the while like learning as much as possible on all the topics that I can, because I'm 33 years old, but I will be fertile, I think, for a few more years. I'll be able to make babies, so it's not a problem. I feel like just leveling up my status and leveling up my comfort and who I am as a person will ensure that I eventually, find someone. Because I think one of the reason why I kind of either didn't find, I guess, the right partners, and always, not the best GFs or anything. Oh, sorry for the cam. That's not the best GFs or anything. It's mostly because just like insecurities on my side. Because I'm insecure with, my material life. I don't trust myself. I don't think anyone should or can trust me, right? Like, why would a good woman just be like, hey, yeah, let's just have a wedding and make a family when I have literally nothing to bring on the table. So that's, rebuilding volume 2. I feel like it's a learning curve. You can be 20 right now and hearing this message. You can be 40 and hearing this message. Life isn't over, man. There's plenty of hot chicks waiting for you or hot dudes waiting for you out there. You can still do your dream job because, like to me, psychology, so it sounds like overdone and all this, right? But of course, so the background I have is, well, I'm mentally ill myself, and I don't choose this as like I'm a victim card or anything. It's just something I've had to deal with for many, many years, being bipolar and borderline at the same time. Now I feel like I've got a pretty good control, pretty good grasp on it. And I've always been fascinated with the way the brain works and how everything works on a biological level and how it translates into like personality and a person's action. So this is something I really want to pursue. And getting education for this, I found like a very, very good master's in Paris. So I might pursue this and just learn cognition, how it works, go into hospitals and work in research. And then maybe like, like the retirement plan would be when I learned as much as possible, when I'm a fucking boss and, I've wrote a few papers and all this, maybe settle down in like a small town, just chill, where I live here, it's a small town, and help people one on one, right? Like help people like me who needed help but couldn't find anybody, because it is really, really hard to find a good shrink. Like it's insanely hard. And most of the time, just gonna like give you pills, give you the classic, reinforcement nonsense, like, oh, it's okay, it's not your fault. Like always kind of like reinforcing the victim mentality. And that's something, my therapists were always kind of like the case where they were always trying to make me feel better about myself and find reasons why I have those shortcomings, where at the end of the day, it's all about just using those building blocks, like what made me me, and use this as like a strength and not like a tool to just always feel bad and just like, hey, this, if this doesn't go my way, it's because, I got assaulted when I was a kid, and this and that and this. So life, and this is a very privileged position from living in France, right? It's just life has more to it than what you think you can get, right? I think we've all felt stuck in bad relationships, bad jobs, bad everything. But if you start from very simple steps, I think we're all going to be surprised when we can reach. Like, of course, for me, it's like the very, very beginning of all this. So maybe I'm talking out of my ass, maybe not. But I'm pretty sure we have a lot of good stuff in stock for us. So yeah, I think I managed to keep it under 15 minutes. Yeah, that's pretty good. I will most likely upload like very frequently, so maybe you can subscribe to the channel and yeah, be notified so I don't have to spam on the Discord. Thank you for watching, and have a good day. And remember, your life ain't over. That was Alex.